So, do you guys remember the moldy oranges? Well, I turned it into this delicious orange bread. And here you will see what I did and what I thought about while making it.
Alright, we have the oranges that are going bad, the orange that's going bad, and the super moldy one. So, I'm actually not really sure. This definitely is just so bad it's not usable. I'm going to poke out the seeds and I'm going to cut off the rotten part. I'm going to compost it. I have a little... Yes, believe it or not, I'm going to try and do something with the moldy parts. I'm going to try and compost it. And then I'm going to try and also get out the... Oh, if it's completely moldy, then I can't use any part. Is there even mold? There's a mold inside. Looks like there's mold inside of it. So I was going to try and grow some oranges from the seeds. Oh, it looks like these seeds are okay. Just put it in my... Just put it on the side for now. Actually, I want to put the seeds in a container. I didn't get a container out. I'm just rinse it right now. Put it on the side. And this is somewhat, I guess it's, well, I'm going to stick this in the blender. So this is just baking soda. I used to clean things and just clean things. Yeah, it's going to be, it's moldy right now, but once I blend it and bake it, it's going to, the flavor, when you cook moldy vegetables, the flavor, that moldy flavor kind of goes away. And that's what I do if I want to still use the food, despite it going bad. This is obviously, see that? That's going to get cut off. And, ooh. So it's just a little, that's fine. I probably should have wiped it. I usually like to cut off the moldy parts before I scrub it. Scrub it with some baking soda right now. And then I'm going to poke out cut off the edges. And I'm going to put this underneath. So I have this. I'm going to break it apart in here so I can take out the seeds and plant them. These are actually organic. I order a lot of my organic produce from Imperfect Foods. I'll leave a link in the description in case you're interested. I have some coupon link or something. I need to find it. So wow, I don't see any seeds in here. Okay, then just the whole thing. So orange peel is really great for flavor. And there's even candied orange peel, but I'm not going to turn this into candied orange peel. I'm just going to bake it into something. And I'm planning on putting flax seeds, starch, coconut flour, eggs, coconut oil, and maybe some dates to help solidify it. Or I could just use sugar, be easier and cheaper. So because of how much orange there is, I'm going to put 2 eggs and a 1/4 cup of flaxseed. I'm going to, actually, I'm thinking 1/4 cup of flaxseed, my blend, and I'm going to blend all the liquids together, which is, the flaxseed is going to be ground into flax meal, or whatever's closest to flax meal as possible. And I have 2 eggs because it helps things stick together. And with coconut flour, coconut flour needs a lot of liquid, which will help, which is good for using this much orange. And then the flax seed, the eggs, and the arrowroot starch that I'm going to put in here is going to help everything stick together. Okay, so I melted roughly a 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of coconut oil. I eyeballed whatever. I just eyeballed it when I was putting the coconut oil in here. It's close to a 1/4 cup. It's close enough. Then I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of sugar because it'll all melt better if I just put it all in together right now. And I decided I might as well put sugar just to make sure that it doesn't get too bitter because well, there's orange peel in there. And then, okay. Now I'm going to blend it all together in my nice blender. So I want to make sure that everything's blended properly and also check on how the viscosity is, because depending on how the viscosity and the liquid content, I may tweak my recipe because I'm just eyeballing things, and it's important to get a good solid to liquid ratio. It's important to get good to get a good certain consistency, because if it's too liquid, then I end up with something totally mushy. And wow, this is pretty solid, surprisingly, I guess. Using a 1/4 cup of flax seeds really does the trick. Yes, I'm using the blender because it's a shortcut to, well, it's a shortcut since I don't want to get mixing stuff out, and I'm already using the blender for the flax seeds, so I'm going to put maybe I should just put, I'll just put the full 1/4 cup of starch. I use arrowroot starch that I buy in bulk, and I like arrowroot starch because it's good for warm or cold things. Cornstarch is more popular, but it doesn't refrigerate well is what people say, and I figure might as well just get arrowroot starch. Every time a recipe needs starch, I'll just use arrowroot starch because I have a giant 3-pound bag of it. Half a cup of coconut flour, and then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I don't use baking powder. I make my own baking powder by mixing baking soda and citric acid. I noticed that if I use too much baking soda, it's going to taste like baking soda. So I'm not going to put any citric acid, I'm not going to put excessive amounts of baking soda. I'm not putting citric acid in because there's oranges, and oranges have acid, so there's citrus. So. Okay, so it didn't all mix really well. It's a little powdery, and I guess I put too much solids. Ooh, wow, this is looking really good. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in here. So this is totally greased up with coconut oil, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in here now. Now I'm going to put it in my little oven, and it's at 350. I'm going to put it at 30 minutes and check back and see how it is. Okay, so here is the orange bread that I made out of those 2 moldy oranges. See how the texture is really soft and it's very bread-like. I made it with coconut flour, flaxseed meal, and starch, arrowroot starch. I think you can use almost any starch. Well, not any starch, but the ones that tend to work well in warm and cold situations, because I tend to refrigerate leftover bread and cake. Yum. I think the texture turned out really well. I mean, okay, so it doesn't bounce a bunch, but it's soft. And you see how it looks really bread-like. It's because I've made a lot of coconut flour pastries before, and some of them just, you can tell it's coconut flour. This is very bread-like. So I really like it. I'm really happy with the result.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please share, like, and subscribe. Also, let me know if you make this cake and how it turned out.